What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of not JoJo, Dragon Ball Super. And this episode was awesome. A lot of stuff with Kale and Caulifla. I'm really digging these two off. I know they got their detractors and there's a lot of people that don't really like these two. Me personally, I love these two. I don't know if because it's the English dub or what, but I love these two. These are definitely good. These are definitely going to become some of my favorite characters that have been introduced in Super, and they're also some of my favorite female characters. Caulifla a lot more than Kale. I mean, Kale, she alright, but you know, Caulifla, I would probably put her in my top five. Top five, maybe. Yeah, top five. So I put her in the top five of my favorite female characters in Dragon Ball. Anyway, but a couple things that I want to talk about before we get into Super. First off, I want to talk about Megalobox real quick. This is going to be quick. Because Megalobox, this is about the second to last episode that came out for the show. It was about second to last episode. Last one's going to be the final one between Yuri and Joe, which I can't wait to watch. This was without a doubt my favorite episode so far. Like, I love this. This series is just so awesome. I love how Nambu was just like, fuck it. I don't care if I lose my other eye. Joe, fight and win this fight. That whole scene with you know Nambu as you facing off against what's the dude's name's like henchman while he's telling Joe to just keep fighting and Joe's fight. That shit was awesome. I love Megalobox, man. I can't wait to see the conclusion for Megalobox. Now let's get on to Boruto real quick. So with Boruto, this episode was pretty cool because we got to see the aftermath of Sasuke almost killing his daughter. He can't recognize the dude straight up puts his sword like right next to Sada now and about to go grabs and is about to grab her. I don't know what he was gonna do, but she's like God! And Sasuke, I bet truly Sasuke felt like the biggest piece of shit. It was like, fuck, I can't even recognize my own fucking daughter. Sasuke, I hope that. That I love those, and one thing I love about this shut up all the Sakura detractors that always say, "Oh, Sakura is useless. Sakura," because this woman came out of nowhere and just punched that dude, sent his ass flying. That's probably my favorite Sakura moment I've seen. It's definitely that moment. Comes out of nowhere and just knocks this dude right on his ass. That shit was right. And I love when Sasuke, she's like, when he gets like that, when Sasuke's sword is inside, but they just easily pulls it out, and Korba's like, all that for that pesky wound, Naruto, you sure have gone weak. And he's like, oh, give me a break, Korba. I love that scene, man. That part was awesome. Alright, so one last thing before we fully dive into this. As you guys may know, a couple days ago, over the weekend was, of course, International Women's Day. And of course, on my Twitter feed, everybody was talking about it. Jamie, Monica Rial made her 2 cents. Other, companies I follow, like Toei, did their own 2 cents. I'm sure even Jamie Marchi said her own 2 cents about this, while also saying that all men are pigs and we should all be burned at the stake while suffocating on our testicles. I'm sure it was something along the lines of that. Says that bitch needs to be fired from Funimation, but hey, if anything, she's giving Vic's lawyers more ammo to sue her with. So please, Jamie, please keep tweeting your, threaderous tweets, because you are making it a hell of a job for your lawyers to defend you. So good luck on that. Anyway, I digress. Toei. So Toei did their own little thing, and their post kind of irked me a little bit. So they've had a post, bunch of the female characters, that the Sailor Scout from Sailor Moon, Nami from One Piece, and others. But there was one thing that kind of irked me a little bit, and it was the female characters for Dragon Ball they picked. In the post, they picked Bulma, obviously, but the ones that were kind of made me scratch my head a little bit was Chi-Chi and 18. Now, excuse me, you guys know that I made this very clear in my previous reviews that I do not like Chi-Chi. I truly despise her. 18, I like her, but she just isn't really one of my favorites because she really has no personality to me. There isn't really much that she has in terms of her actual character. There's just not really much there for 18. But I was like, come on, y'all couldn't put Vidal in here. You know, best girl Vidal. Come on. Like, that kind of hurts me a little bit. Because I was like, I swear, not Chi-Chi, Vidal doesn't get any respect now. Like, that woman does not get enough love. I don't know if it's because she was introduced so late in the series in the boo or everyone's just too busy gawking at 18 because they think she's so hot, even though 18 really isn't all that attractive. Hell, I find Vidal with short hair far more attractive than 18, but that's just me. Anyway. So of course I posted like, oh, forgot to put Vidal exclamation. Actually, funny story. Vidal's English voice actor actually liked my tweet. Keep on, I did not tag her or anything. She literally liked it. I was like, holy shit. So that was a nice little surprise to my day. But one thing I noticed there was a lot of people talking about Chi-Chi. There's a lot of like Chi-Chi fans I know who are like, oh, Chi-Chi, I love Chi-Chi. And I replied to a couple to be like, nah, man, Chi-Chi's an insufferable bitch. Sorry, like, because I do not know how Chi-Chi has any fans. Granted, every time I saw anything that was pro Chi-Chi, it was always her in OG Dragon Ball. So who knows? Maybe whenever I get to watching the original Dragon Ball, Chi-Chi's actually tolerable to listen to. We'll see whenever I get around to seeing the original Dragon Ball. One thing I noticed was, I also noticed a couple people talking about Goku's Japanese voice actor, which of course, as you guys know, is a woman in her 80s. Her name's slipping my mind right now, but of course I replied, I prefer Sean, but I have nothing but respect for her. So while I was like, I think it was like later on that thread, or later on just the overall reply to the tweet, someone actually posted this video of her playing Goku and Goten from the first episode of Dragon Ball Super in the recording booth, and I was mesmerized because she switches over from Goku to Goten like that. Like, there isn't much of a stop. She just switches to Goten's voice just like that. Then I found another one deep in that thread where it was a YouTube video of her. I forget, it was like at some like event or game show where this dude hands her the script. And she's like, hey, can you say these names as Goten, Goku, and Gohan? Because she voices all three of them. And she's like, okay, yep. But first she says, can I stand up? Because, it's easy for me to say lines when I stand up. So she stands up. And I wasn't really paying attention to most of the dialogue. It was something about a race. But I was just mesmerized by her because she switches over from Goku to Gohan to Goten like that. Like, she doesn't stop. Like, she's like, I think she stops maybe for like a second just to breathe before she switches over to the next voice. Like, that keeps the conversation going. Come on, it's just her. And no one else is there. It's just her doing these lines. And she just, like, I always had respect for her as just the original, as the OG. She is the voice of Goku. Without her, we wouldn't have Sean Shill. But now I respect her even more as a voice actor because playing three characters with three distinct voices at once like that, at once like that, ain't no easy feat. And if I remember, I'll leave a link to that video down in the description box below if you guys want to check it out, because it's a sight to behold. I can definitely say, even though I don't really like her Goku voice, me personally, it's because I prefer Sean Schimmel, she is without doubt an amazing voice actor, because like I said, that there's no way that's an easy feat to do. Anyway, with that all being said, let's get into this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super. So we started this episode off. We got Goku versus Jiren. Now, as you guys know, I said in my review last week, I said that we're probably not going to get any of the fight. All they're going to do is teasing. Like, I think I said either A, we're not getting the fight at all, or B, at most they're going to throw like a couple punches. Well, I was right because we got nothing. Just a stare down between Goku and Jiren. Goku's like, all right, Jiren, let's go. And then Top shows up being like, no, motherfuckers. Coming in like, no, motherfuckers. You wouldn't get in the fight just now. I'm going to make you wait for this. So it's like, this fair, Goku, find justice for us! And then he fires off and then gets Goku away. He says, Jiren, let us regroup. I have sent out 5 fighters to take care of these guys. Let us conserve our energy. And they disagree with, well, okay. I know I said some stuff about the Pride Cheers, but I gotta say, I love Top's voice. After I'm done recording this, I'm going to look up who's voicing him, and I'm going to follow it because I love his voice. It's so perfect for Top's character. I love it. I love his English voice. I really dig the Pride Troopers, in all honesty. They definitely have that old school, like, Sentai feel about them. I do like that. I mean, I know I said that I didn't like it because it was too much, but unless there are cases like that, like it was here, that it was, like, when they just went full on with that in one episode, I like Top, awesome. I love his English voice. So, yeah, so they disappear. We got Then Caulifla says, hey, what do you think you're doing right? Do you feel like a big man if you're taking this girl, taking out Kale while she's weak? Huh? And goes like, whoa, Caulifla, I'm not here for Kale. I just got blasted over here. And then she's like, oh yeah, how is she anyway? And then Kale runs behind Caulifla. He's like, I'm sorry, I just don't like that man. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what did Goku do to you again, Kale? Last time I checked, all Goku did was just fight with Caulifla and told you, hey, can you not get involved in our fight? I mean, which makes sense. These are Saiyans after all. They don't really like They like to take everything on mano, one-on-one. That's why Goku and Vegeta rarely team up. When they do, Vegeta's like always against it, constantly complaining about it. I mean, just remember the Broly movie. How long it took Goku to finally convince Vegeta to finally do the fusion dance. You know. So, yet she acts like she's like scared shitless of Goku. Like I don't know, like stole her favorite toy or something, or like punched her. I don't know. Whatever the case may be. And then Caulifla says, hey, watch your mouth. Pushes Kale from behind her, right in front of Goku. She said, Kale isn't some delicate flower you need to take pity on. She's an excellent boy that I call my sworn sister. Which, yes, she said sworn sister. So to any people, even with the dub, I've heard people say, oh, it's more obvious in the dub that they're a year couple. This confirms it, both the dub and in the dub too. They're just like really close friends that view each other as each other's sisters. Now we can close that book up. Now we can finally close the book on that. I mean, Greg Kale was blushing when she said that, but I think that was because she said she's proud of her. I don't know. Well, the case may be, yeah, there ain't no Yuri going down here, at least as far as we know. So, I love that scene because Caulifla's telling, like, oh yeah, Kale is this excellent fire that you don't need to pity on, but yet Kale's face says otherwise. Her face screams, I'm scared, please don't hurt me. Like, you could tell, she's like 2 seconds away from just straight up shitting herself. So, then the other Prime Troopers, the 5 that Top brought up, they have their own little introductions. I'm just gonna call them jobbers because that's what they are, jobbers, because they didn't last very long. They get their own little introductions out of the way, like they're the Ginyu Force, and so and then they talk about like, and then she's like, okay, why don't we take care of Kale first because she was the one that went berserk and took everyone out, and they got to deal with this. They got the cyborg now. I'll be like, oh, you're the one that took out one of my brothers, you bastard! I swear that I will eliminate you. And then goes like, hey, I thought I was the one y'all were after. It's a battle royale. The order doesn't really matter. I thought that was pretty funny. So we get over back to Master Roshi. He does this new attack, which I'm pretty sure this is a new attack he's done. I don't think he ever uses. He might have used the original in OG Dragon Ball. I'm not sure. It was the Lightning Flash, if I remember correctly. Does the attack to this Cell knockoff. Like, this dude straight up looks like Cell. It reminds me a lot of the Polnareff knockoff we got in this week's episode of JoJo, which I will talk more about that stuff in my JoJo review. So look forward to that if you're interested in my JoJo review. Anyway. Oh man. So he does the lightning flash and he's like, what is this? What is this attack? It's called a lightning flash. Although I am in the same boat with you where I cannot move while I'm immobilizing you. Luckily, Tien shows up. It was called, was it the Tri-Blast? I think it was called. I forget the exact name for this attack. Uses that, sends him out of bounds. And then Master Roshi kind of takes a moment, take a breathe, sits down, and Tien's like, Master Roshi, are you injured? He's like, no, my boy, I just need to take a good rest. Gohan shows up. He's like, all right. He asks, like, where's everyone else? He's like, yeah, we got separated when Kale went berserk. They find Piccolo. He's not too far off. Frieza later joins up along with Vegeta, and Frieza's actually holding the Hulk Hogan knockoff from Universe 10. Mr. Protein Shake over there. And it's like, I love it. He's like, Frieza, that dude was mine. Don't poach him from me. Come on, Vegeta, first come, first serve. And he eliminates him. And so he's like, okay. And then she's like, alright, we got everyone. We're only missing 3, the androids and Goku. Which, being the androids, I got something to talk about. Someone in my comments actually pointed this out. And I actually didn't even realize this until after I realized it after I read this, where actually, as you guys remember in last week's episode, 18 was kind of giving Krillin some shit about being the first one eliminated, saying like, I'm not exactly proud to call you my husband, right? Well, I'm surprised I didn't notice this before. He actually points out the fact that Krillin actually saved her ass earlier on that exact same episode. Yet here's in the episode before that, and here she is, being ungrateful and saying, I'm not proud to call you my husband when she saved your ass earlier on. Like, she would have been the first one eliminated in Universe 7 if Gorilla did come in there and save her. So, yeah, you can add that to the list. I'm not really a big fan of 18. But 18 did redeem herself in this episode. Like, 18 and 17 were probably like, 18, 17, and Kale and Caulifla were without a doubt the highlights of this week's episode. Especially Caulifla and Kale. Those two, I think, were really good this week. Alright, so we get over to Goku. He's facing off against who I will dub as Rockman and Tornado, because one dude's a tornado and the other dude turns into a rock. Because I cannot remember these jobbers' names, nor do I really care to. So, Rockman comes over to Goku, grabs him over, and he turns his whole body to stone. He's a lot like Kirishima from Hiroaka. If any of you guys are currently watching Hiroaka, which, Season 3 is fast starting on Toonami, man, which I cannot wait. Season 3 is so good. I love Season 3 of Hiroaka, and I can't wait to rewatch it all over again. I'm curious how that's going to work, because I'm pretty sure by the time Season 3's finished airing, Season 4 might actually start airing by that point. So I'm curious if Toonami's going to get right into Season 4. I gotta hope that because that would be cool to watch Season 4 while I'm also watching Season 4 with the subs. I don't know. I'm curious what's gonna go down with that, but whatever the case may be with Hiroaka. Anyway, so the dude kind of he starts weighing a lot more. He started to really hurt Goku. You can see him slowly sinking more and more to the ground. Tornado comes in there, some extra attacks on him. We get over to Caulifla. She is facing off against the creature from the Black Lagoon, and so they're fighting off. He's pretty much staying on the defense, and she's like, "Oh, come on, man, why don't you fight back?" And then he's like, "Oh, I am. You were too busy focusing on me to pay attention." He points up. You look up. There's a bunch of Kai blasts surrounding her. He sends them all towards Caulifla. Caulifla's running around trying to dodge them all. Kale's sitting in the background behind some rubble, just like, "Caulifla, I need to get in there." She's trying to get in there, but when she does, we got the female of the universe, which I actually like her design. I actually really like her design. Looks cool. She puts Kale in this barrier. Pretty much immobilizing her, and she's like trying to get out of there, but she can't. So we then head over back to Goku. Then he's like, and so you got Cyborg being like, "Man, did you really need to send 5 fighters against these 3? Sounds a little excessive and a waste of our talents." "Well then, let me change that for you." 17 comes in there, kicks him right, and here I actually noticed a bit of an animation error. Toei, it looks like you slacking a little bit here on these Blu-rays. So, you guys know that 17 wears gloves, right? Well, I noticed in this shot when 18, 17 are kind of just sitting after they kick him, you can notice he's not wearing a glove in one of his hands, but later on he's wearing both gloves again. So, you slacking there, Toei? You slacking? I know this is an anime with long-running shonen and stuff like this. Our animation errors are behind, which I gotta say, this is only the second one I've really noticed. So. That's a good sign from Toei. At least we're getting quality art animation, not like what happened back with episode 4. So they're learning, they're getting better. Plus, like I said, what they did with the Broly movie was just godlike. So they're facing off against the Cyborg dude. We get back to Goku. Actually, 18 comes up there and helps out against Goku. She just starts hitting the Rockman with a bunch of Kai blast until he finally gets up, and so he backs up. He's like, "That woman is merciless." Then Tornado comes in there, "Justice!" I was like, "Justice when?" I think it was called. She's like, "Justice this, justice that. You plan on helping?" And and goes like, "Oh right." So they both keep firing Kai blasts at the Tornado. They're in bounce right back over to him. Bounce right back. Dude, Rockman comes in there, does like a spin pretty much just does like the spin dash from Sonic the Hedgehog. Comes hurling towards those two. 18 manages to grab him and just sends him rolling into the other direction. He manages to stop himself before he can get away. It's like, ugh. He's like right at the edge of the arena, by the way. He's like, whew. He was like, crisis averted, and then he just fall, and then the arena just the arena starts cracking, and just part of it just kind of comes off, and he's sent out there, and then Tornado bounces, and so does Cyborg. They go out there, regroup back with the woman, where they're coming back, and they're facing off against. They're all working now. They're like, and he's like, it's tough. It's like it's Rockman. They got it. And he says, those bastards have it. I'm like, I gotta say, the word bastard has gotten so overused in anime. It is literally like these guys act like 18 just murdered this guy when it's a battle royale. I mean, I guess you could say technically she did, because you know when your elimination gets when your whole universe gets eliminated, you are going to die. But at the same time, it's a battle royale. I mean, wouldn't you do the exact same thing? Eliminate somebody, yet they act like he killed his best friend. But I mean, I guess technically she kind of did when she eliminated him, because you know if their universe gets eliminated, they're all dead. So. You know, I just find that kind of weird. Anyway, so they're all thinking of strategies. So it's just all these guys against Kale and Khalifa. You can see Khalifa. She's grabbing her arm. She's like, she's definitely struggling a little bit. And you can definitely see this is actually doing a lot of work. This is taking its toll on her. They're like, okay, put a dome around her so they can take her. So she put the dome around them, meaning that nobody can get in or out. Kale can't get, Goku can't get. He can't even use instant transmission here because they're inside an alternate dimension. So Cauliflower's getting her ass beat by the Kai Blast and everything. You know, it's 1 versus 5 up in here, and Kale is just watching on the sidelines, cry like no. And this is actually kind of like she's like, I will, and we all this got it. I won't lie, this was pretty cliche though. Kale, I will always protect you because you are my source. And yes, I know this is ripped straight out of the Anime 101 Power Up Handbook. Tell you are always going to protect your friends, and that's how they get their power ups. But I won't lie, this whole section right here with Kale and Caulifla was actually pretty cool. Honestly, it was probably my favorite part of the episode. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest with y'all. So, Kale's still crying, Caulifla's getting her ass kicked. She's like, no, I'm so useless, why? She's crying, and then she finally just goes, she goes Super Saiyan, but she controls herself. She doesn't go full-fledged Broly mode. She just goes, like, I'm pretty sure that's just base Super Saiyan 1, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's just base Super Saiyan 1. She goes normal Super Saiyan 1. She still has some, she does still get some added muscle, but it's nowhere near as bad as a Broly one. She's like, oh, cool. And I won't lie, her base Super Saiyan form, it actually looks really cool. I prefer it a lot more than her Broly form. So, Caulifla, oh, well, Kale, is that you? You're like, yeah, she's like, of course, getting accustomed to seeing herself going Super Saiyan. And you got the pride to be like, do not yield, friends. Only thing that's changed here is the color of her hair. Yeah! So they all do like some combo Kai attack thing. They get out there, all their specials, combine them. Kale and Caulifla team up, do the same thing. We got this big beam stuff going down, and they're just fighting as Kale's like, just trust me, we can do this. Keep fighting, keep pushing. Kale ends up managing to control herself and goes Broly. Adds some extra strength. Caulifla goes Super Saiyan 2, and they just managed to push them out of the ring. It was really cool. I really dug this beam struggle. It's been a while since we've gotten a pretty cool beam struggle. Which actually, one thing actually speaking of beam struggles, one thing I forgot to mention from Cyborg. We actually see him actually using his Kai, or his Ki, I should say, and using it and manipulating it into weapons. But correct me if I'm wrong. Him and Goku Black are the only two people in the Dragon Ball mythos that we know of so far, at least in the canon, that can actually do that, right? So that is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure it's only him and Goku. It's only him and Goku Black are the only ones that can actually do that. I might be wrong on that though, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. So back to where it was. So those three get, and actually when the Kai Black and when Kale and Caulifla manages to really start winning the beam struggle, the female chick just puts a barrier around her, leaving her teammates high and dry. They're sent out of the ring, and then she kind of just stays in her Broly form. She's still controlled. The huge barrier goes away. She meets up with Goku, and she's like, that you had us worried there for a second. And Goku's like, hey, is she gonna be okay? Is she gonna go berserk on us again? Nah, she's cool. And so Kale powers down back to her base form. She ends up passing out, and Kale picks her up, or Caulifla picks up Kale, and then goes on her way. Goku lets him escape. And then you got the female both say, oh, as long as I'm in this barrier, y'all can't touch me. And 18's like, okay, the bear goes with her. She just sends her out, and she just throws her outside the ring. I thought that was funny. So she also got eliminated. And when Zeno was doing on his little iPad, pressing the button on who got eliminated, I could have sworn one of their names was Casserole, like the food. Oh, Akira Toriyama and your food references. Casserole. I mean, that's not even a pun, that's just a name. Anyway, so we end the episode off with one of the females that we saw right before the tournament started. I think she was, Universe 5? I think she was one of those girls that are pretty much they're the Sailor Scouts, essentially. They have the magical girls transformations. And yeah, that's where the episode ends. So overall, love this week's episode. The Kale and Khalifa stuff was pretty cool. That was probably my favorite part of the episode. So overall, I give this week's episode a 9.5 out of 10, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you feel like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.
She's too bad.